Evening.
Good evening, welcome. It's another Thursday night. There's only two of us this week though, mate.
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
If we try.
Yes, we can. No, unfortunately, the sexy fireman has been called out to some... What did he say he was doing? Saving lives or something?
Fire, I think. I have no idea.
Probably. I think he's gone out on some call out, well, basically he's doing something more important than sitting with us discussing comics, which I find very hard to believe, but hey ho, each to their own.
As long as he stays safe and he stays sexy, that's all that matters.
It does. Indeed it does. So how are you, sir? How are you?
Next question.
What are you drinking?
Mate, I am drinking a Lucozade Alert Original. Because I'm feeling a little bit tired today, and I thought, you know what, I need to boost my energy, and this will either boost my energy or give me diabetes, one of the two. What are you drinking, Charles?
So I've upgraded from the Fosters this week. I've gone for the old Stella.
Lovely Stella. Okay, nice. That's your drink of choice normally when you're in the old public bar.
Yeah. So it could be fiery. It could be a fiery episode. I like to start on the Stella, and then I like to get on the whiskey sours. And then it all goes downhill from there, as we will find out in 2 weeks.
Oh, we definitely will. 2 weeks to Thought Bubble. Cannot wait. It's buzzing. Look at the chat. I know. The chat is absolutely up for tonight. The
chat is up for tonight. We've got ABZ Comics, Evening Killers, all one and all. Yes, we go. We have Ed Vic, Evening Abs, Evening all. Oh, no, I said to you before the show started, I said, should we call him Abs Comics because he only collects 6-packs? Should we call him that?
I just call him Sir.
We just call him Sir. You did mention that Ed Vic showed some absolutely astounding comics on Instagram this week.
It's one of those things where I seen the pictures he was putting up, and I kind of looked at my collection and went, I would have to literally sell every single book in my collection to even like get the deposit for those books. But no, enjoy them. They're absolute beauties. Grails, I think, is the word.
Holy grails. We've got the one and only Mr. Chris Bell. He hasn't been killed yet. His wife is still letting him buy comics and attend the Killer Comics show religiously every Thursday night. So thank you for that, Mrs. Bell. I've managed to not confuse Thursday with Friday this week, already winning. Yes, you are, sir. Talking about he's got some good ones as well. He shows some absolute beauties.
I can't imagine where he got most of his collection.
I can't tell you. I do struggle to find. We've got everyone's favourite YouTube Heisenberg. It's the one and only Mr. Leon Russell. How are we all doing, sir? I'm drinking Stella. Andy is drinking Lucozade Alert Fire.
Sad day.
Ed's also asked, is anyone watching someone eating chicken?
Oh.
I'm not sure. That was a Kentucky Fried catastrophe last week, wasn't it?
That's KFC Peter, wasn't it? Hopefully KFC he'll be in at some point. Or he might already be in. I don't know.
He might already be in. He might be knee deep in a family bucket. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, we will find out in a couple of weeks at Thought Bubble. We will get the in-depth details of how that escalated so quickly. Xanderman is in. Evening Killers. Evening to you, sir. So it's another Thursday. These weeks come around thick and fast, don't they? They really do. Last week, so surprised. I'm still getting over the shock of you not having any collections or pickups. Have you got anything?
Pickups.
Anything this week?
I have one or two. Yes. Sit back, relax, guys. Get your KFC and your drinky poos. And, let me take you through a journey. So I have this 2000 AD sci-fi special. This was a gift from my good friend Mark. He picked this up in London, and you can see here it has 4 signatures, and it has a nice little signature by Mike Carroll, who is the script writer for this particular book, well-known 2000 AD writer.
Lovely days.
I bought the most recent 2000 AD magazine in Forbidden Planet, and it came with the only reason I bought it is because it came with this. Okay. And this was recommended by my friend Mark because it shows you all the sort of prelims for a lot of the covers and interiors, and some of it, and like it has like all the notes and stuff like that. So
that's wicked.
gives you an idea of the thought process and stuff like that. So this was literally the only reason why I picked this up. So I'm happy to have that in the collection. Hey Mark, how's it going? Then I went to Coffee and Heroes in Belfast, and also went to, as I say, Forbidden Planet, and picked up some nice books. So it was nice just to get, delving into the boxes and have a good rummage, as it were. I picked Uncanny Inhumans issue number 1. I do like these hip hop variant covers, so I picked up this from Coffee and Heroes.
Nice.
Uncanny Avengers issue number 1. Again, a nice little hip hop variant cover here. This was a nice one I picked up from the back issue bins in Forbidden Planet. This is Spider-Man, and this is the first appearance of the manga verse Spider-Man. So I got this for a fairly good price.
I didn't even know that existed.
Neither did I until I saw it, and I know that kids these days love the old manga, so I was like, I need to pick this up.
I think it would have been better if it was called Manga Man Spider. That would have been quite good.
And this is why you don't choose the titles of comics.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got Spider-Girl issue number 59. I've got bloody there we go. So I have a bit of a penchant for Spider-Girl, and I'm trying to pick up all the penchant. That was a penchant. I don't even know if I said that right. Penchant.
I actually thought you said Poor Sean.
Poor Sean. That'll be in 2 weeks' time. I've got Ultimate Comics all new Spider-Man issue number 5. This is a bit of a key, I believe, and I think this was a Forbidden Planet pickup.
Literally, speak of the devil and he will appear. Here we are. there's Andy's Poor Sean.
his radar was set off there. There's my Poor Sean. Picked up some Scotty Young. So I got Uncanny Avengers issue number 1. I got Uncanny Inhumans issue number 1. I actually picked up a couple of copies of this. Chris Bell, who's in the house, let me know if you have this. If not,
he does, and he just said he's Andy's deposit.
He actually is. He's the reason why I'm getting to Thought Bubble.
And then he's actually said, actually, that hasn't translated as I intended. So I don't know what if Chris, you might be his penchant.
My penchant. Hashtag penchant. Then we have Ultimate End issue number 1. Again, another.
Oh my god, is that you?
Mate, now that you mention it, actually, that I'm going to cosplay as this character for Thought Bubble. I actually have a check shirt and obviously I have a black tie.
That really, literally, you've got Scotty Young to do your commission.
How's he stand? It's like, hold on.
That's it. That is it. That's it.
I picked up some absolute bangers from a Voggt stream. Comic Sans. Hope I've got that right. With Carla Cohen going to Thought Bubble, I managed to pick up this absolutely stunning Virgin cover. I believe this is Vampirella. I have no idea. It just caught my eye and I needed to pick it up.
Can I ask how much that was?
I think that was I think I got it for like 10 or 12 quid.
That's wicked.
Maybe 15 at the most, but it certainly wasn't expensive. So there's definitely some bargains to pick up on Vought. And this was the second one that I picked up from the same seller.
Is that a foil?
Nice little foil action there. David Nakayama foil.
Love that.
And that's me. I hope that wasn't too bad for everybody.
It's enjoyable. For once.
Wow. What about you, Charlie? Did you pick up anything?
Do you know what? I've had a quiet week. I only literally got two comics, which was I think Hobgoblin's Hideaway did a what's it called? A blind bidding thing on Vault where you just bid blind and you get what it is. I ended up with the New Mutants design variant issue number 19.
Nice.
£25. And then, as always, as it always seems to be, it's either me or Chris Bell that seem to win something on these Vault auctions. I got Hillbilly issue number 2.
That's actually a great series and a great run. I would highly recommend.
Do you know what? I've got into it And I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm really like, so now I've gone down a rabbit hole and trying to collect the rest of them.
Nice.
So that was that, because I didn't buy anything from Tim's show last Friday I was watching, and there wasn't really anything that caught my eye, which is, I like the vault setup because they're listed. You can kind of see, I think we've mentioned this before, you can kind of see what's coming up. So you can kind of hold, unless you're watching the show, you can't really follow what's coming up next because it moves so quick. Like some of them go quicker than others. So when you think, I've got 15 minutes, unless you're watching the show, guys, you could potentially miss out on the comment you get. Unless you're Chris Bell, who seems to win everything, you'll be all right. But that would be my advice. Watch the show and also have an eye on what you've got coming up, so you know that you can spend money on that instead of wasting it on something else. Not wasting it, but you know.
I don't even like log off and go off the stream at any point. I just literally watch it from start to finish, just in case I miss anything, even though I know what's coming up, just in case like Tim sneaks in a cover that you don't expect. But speaking of the Hobgoblin Hideaway, they're doing a live show from the MCM Comic Con tomorrow, 4 o'clock. So make sure that you tune in and give Tim and Lucy and the guys some support.
And I think they was talking to see if they was able to sort it, if they was going to do a vault auction from MCM to see how that was going to pan out. So just stay tuned, checking on Facebook, checking on Instagram, see if they're able to do that. But yeah, it's always a good show, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or vault.
100%.
And the only other things I picked up this week, obviously you know this, I went out last week, I took the kids out to McDonald's, and McDonald's are doing like this DC thing, Happy Meal. I thought, well, I've got to jump on this bandwagon, so I bought Happy Meal just so I can get this.
My kids came home with that at the weekend as well. 3 of them.
I didn't just get one Happy Meal, I got 2.
Yeah.
And then I decided to go again the other day and get the Penguin.
Nice. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So there's the Penguin, there's the Riddler, and there's Harley Quinn, and there's Batman, and I think there's Nightwing as well. Okay. But I mean, yeah, I haven't really picked up much. I'm still waiting for my Harley Quinn 30th anniversary order to come through from Galactic Comics. I think I literally bought one of every single cover, and I think I splashed out a bit and bought it was either a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50. I'm not sure.
I'm kind of a saving up for Thought Bubble, I must admit. I have at least one commission that I've got organised that I'm hoping to pick up, and I might try and see if I can get another one. But I'm like you, Charlie. My plan is to take less comics with me, and just make it a little bit special, because like you find yourself with like a box full of signed comics that kind of mean nothing to you. So
exactly,
that's my plan.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that was the pickups. We've got quite a few other people to drop in. We've got Harp Contracts. Thank you very much for joining. We have Mark Oldwood. Thank you very much, Mark. Hopefully see you at Thought Bubble. And we've got Connie. Hi guys, can't join tonight, but I'll catch the rewinds. Technically, you did join tonight and then you jumped out again. So thanks anyway. And we've got the Stream Elements bot running. I don't know how this geezer keeps getting in. I don't know if it's a virus or anything, but you know.
He's a good guy. He's a big collector.
He's a very, very good guy. So we are here to review comics, but before we do that,
this is a part of the show, Charlie, where Variant Andy comes in. So at the start of the show, when you show him pick up, it's nice Andy, and then it's evil Andy. It gets into the business end. So killer covers for October 26th. Who's up first, Charlie?
Who's up first? Who have we got first? Let's have a look. We've got, it's myself. DC, Harley Quinn, issue number 23. We're going for the Nathan Shirty variant D. Massive Harley Quinn fan. Love tattoos on women. Harley Quinn, tattoo, Nathan Shirty. Winner, Harley Quinn for dinner. This is amazing. My only concern with this, right, is that I love this cover. I absolutely love Nathan Shirty's work, right, and massive shout out to him for acknowledging the post and everything we've done on Instagram over the last couple of days and stuff. My only concern with this is that it looks ultra realistic, and then the tattoos on the arms look quite faded and literally copy and pasted. Now, I know I'm not doing the best to sell my cover here, but it's an amazing cover. But I'm not quite sure I'm in love with the tattoos as much as I would be if it was more of the color reference and the coloring as it was to like her top and stuff like that.
I think when we first seen Nathan Zerdi doing the tattoos on the arms, we were blown away by it. We thought it was absolutely spectacular. I think whenever I saw this one, I was kind of looking for something a little bit different. And the only thing that I picked up that was quite quirky was the Joker with like the cross on it. I thought that was quite cool. This is obviously a spectacular cover. It's absolutely fantastic. It's eye-catching. It would be great in anybody's collection. But I'm with you in this one. It's like we've seen it before, and we're probably going to get every single character with tattoos like this.
I mean, Catwoman's had it done. I mean, I've got one up there. I think it's it's Harley Quinn issue #1, and it's a Nathan Shirley Poison Ivy cover. And the colours really pop on that. Like the tattoos on both of their arms of like the vines and stuff really pop on that. Whereas here they look a bit faded.
Yeah.
It's like she's wearing a tattoo sleeve instead of it being an actual tattoo. I mean, I do.
Do you know? I think you need that on the tattoos. I think they need to be slightly faded to give that sort of realistic look to them. Because I think the rest of our outfit and stuff like that is so bright and vibrant and pops so much. Nathan nails this absolutely all the time.
100%.
There's absolutely no doubt about it. So yeah, top cover.
So yeah, this is he actually done 4 covers for Harley Quinn 23, then variant A, B, C, and D, and then moving on swiftly is Your Beauty, Andrew.
It is Halloween, so I tried to stick with the theme here, guys. I went for Stuff of Nightmares issue #2. This is the 1 in 25 incentive variant by the fantastic Tula Lotay, who will also be at Thought Bubble. So this is released through Boom Studios, and I love Tula Lotay's work. I try and collect as much of it as I possibly can. And this just, every so often you see a cover and it just catches your eye. And I think this is horrifically beautiful. The fact that there's not a huge amount of color in this, it's just vibrantly red. And the eyes, you can see the shock and the horror in those eyes. And I just think Tula's knocked it out of the park in this one. And I wanted to go for something just that little bit different.
Do you know what? 2 things that strike me about this cover. Absolutely amazing. R.L. Stine. Absolutely adored the guy when I grew up. Goosebumps, when I was a kid, was my #1 go-to TV series after I come back from school. And #2, this must be a slight reference to Psycho.
Absolutely. I think you can actually Psycho definitely. I'd be interested to see if issue #1 had a Tula Lotay variant to see if it's like a homage to different horror movies. But yeah, there's definitely a bit of Psycho in there, definitely.
Have you been reading this?
I haven't. No, I didn't even know it existed until I saw the cover.
Exactly.
So it's one I'm definitely going to go back, and that's a great thing about Tula Lotay's work. She'll actually draw you in to comics that you wouldn't have even had a look at. So this is definitely like one of those eye-catching covers. Imagine seeing this on the rack and giving it a second guess.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Do you know what I love about this? I was obviously Tula. Now she doesn't do Thought Bubble. She kind of started it and she doesn't do it, but she's there this year. So she's going to be there this year as an appearance instead of like trying to run creators trying to run the thing. So that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, fantastic cover, mate.
Just before we go on to the next one, do you know what this needs? And I'm hoping that there's a variant of this. See the blood on the fingers? Foil.
Yeah. Boom. Great minds. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But and then we've got again another Harley Quinn issue #23. We've got Nathan Shirley variant A. Another Harley Quinn. Another fantastic cover. I mean, there's not really much you can say about what we've said already. Nathan Shirley clearly does what he does very well. I actually kind of wish I picked this cover.
I think it's fair to say that he nails the female form, and specifically Harley, DC characters, Poison Ivy. I think it's interesting how he can have the same cover with the same character, but it looks completely different, and he's taking that a different perspective. So it just shows you how talented he is. But yeah, I think you could have picked one of 4 of those Harley Quinn covers for cover of the week, to be fair.
And I think Tom's done well here. He's kind of he has done well to pick a good cover because I think the colours, for me, the colours really, really pop on this. But again, I know Poison Ivy's in the background, but she just seems a little bit faded. I don't know if that's kind of his thing.
The perspective kind of threw me a little bit because Poison Ivy looked so small. Like she almost doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
And also the background gave me a little bit of That's All Folks vibes. You know, the end scene for it. That's all, folks, and the pops to the thing. That's how I kind of felt about this one. So
yeah. But that's it. We've got 3 covers. We've got myself, we've got Andy, and we've got Tom's Harley Quinn. The vote is now live on the community tab, on the poll tab, on Instagram, on YouTube, not Instagram, on YouTube. So head over there, give your votes. But yeah, I think Andy, you're miles ahead on this one, mate. You've hit the nail on the head with Halloween. You've gone for R.L. Stein, and you've gone for a fantastic Two Little Tay to cover.
We never know. There's a lot of Harley Quinn fans in the house, so we'll see how the vote goes.
There are, but yes, indeed. So we will see. So yes, that's the voting over. That's the business end of the show. We can go back to being civil and nice to each other now, mate. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see after the next intro. Yeah.
Right, perfect. Right, so yes, this is the Killer Comic Show week 42 review. We're currently in week 43, but as you know, if you are massive fans and followers of the show, we reviewed the comics of last week, which was week 42. So on the community tab last week, there were 4 comics that were up for the vote, and the 2 that came front runners was Batman One Bad Day Penguin issue number 1 from DC and Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue number 1 from Marvel. Up first, we have Batman One Bad Day Penguin issue number 1 with the main cover by Giuseppe Camuncoli, cover B by Jim Lee with a nice variant there, cover C by Tom's favourite artist, which is Dan Moore with the 1 in 25 incentive, and cover D with a fantastic 1 in 50 Jamal Campbell variant cover. I'm going to throw this over to you, Andy, because you won cover of the week last week with this, the Joker cover that I haven't chosen because we see enough of that last week. So
Brian Boland, the Brian Boland one, yeah.
Brian Boland, yeah. So I would like to know what you thought of this comic.
Sure. First of all, the covers for this book were absolutely stunning. I think, bar the Brian Boland one, I'd have probably went for the Jim Lee variant. I think it almost feels like that Jim Lee variant needs a sketch variant with no colour, because I think it's absolutely beautiful. But with regards to the business end of this particular book, I'm going to start by saying this was an $8 book, so it wasn't a cheap book. However, there were 71 pages in this comic. And I felt every one of those 71 pages. There's very few books where you turn the page and go, oh, is it finished? Are we nearly there yet? And that's not to say that it was a good story, because I felt that it was, but it was a totally different take on Oswald Cobblepot as we know him. It felt like it was kind of a very sympathetic towards him, almost felt a little bit sorry for him, kind of a dived back into his past when he was a kid. And what we discover is that he's kind of been harbouring anxiety and feelings about his 7th birthday, whenever all the kids basically didn't turn up, and his mother had to pay $100 each kid for them to turn up. So it's definitely a different interpretation of Penguin, and it felt as if the writer, John Ridley, didn't like Batman. Did you get I got those vibes that kind of Batman was kind of like the baddie in this, not the baddie, but it certainly wasn't the hero, put it that way. There was a lot of side characters in this book, so we get introduced, I think, to at least 3 or 4 side characters, but for me, they didn't really draw me in, and didn't keep me invested in the story. I think if we'd have been a little bit more focused on Cobblepot, then it would have been for much the better. I think overall this book kind of was about friendship. It felt like me, it was kind of like showing the Penguin and how he made friends in this story. So he made 4 friends who become his team, which is kind of like a transition and a polar opposite to his 7th birthday. Believe it or not, guys, the pages that you see here, the one on the left-hand side was a page that I wanted to show, not because I thought that it was good, it's because I thought it was pretty poor. And the reason I thought it was pretty poor was because of that Batman.
Yeah.
I don't know why the detail wasn't there and on the
Mhm.
Batman, and it's been blacked out, and it just feels like his legs
Yeah.
have been like superimposed and they're
Yeah. And
too
his
high.
hands as well.
Yeah, it just felt really, really weird. I normally pick a page because it's kind of it pops and it's
Mhm.
intriguing to me, but this intrigued me in the opposite way. So yeah, I thought overall it was a nice spotlight on the Penguin. I think it kind of gave a view of if you're not accepted in society, how you don't fit in, and how people who don't fit in kind of seek other people that don't fit in, and they kind of join together and keep themselves close. This is effectively what the Penguin's done in creating this new sort of villain team. But for me, I just wanted it to be a lot more darker. I
Yeah.
wanted the Penguin for me is just like a vicious kind of a sneaky character,
Mhm.
and it was kind of like a little bit of a different take, but one that I did enjoy. But for me, it was just a little bit tedious and a wee bit
Mhm.
too long. It's a bit of a slog to read.
Yeah.
What did you think, Charlie?
I can't disagree with you, mate. To be fair, the only thing that really did strike me like straight from the off is that Ridley's take on Gotham is very interesting.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
it's. I'm not sure if I liked it or didn't like it. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think if you're looking to find out what happened to the Penguin or his backstory or what he's doing now, it's quite a good interpretation of how the Penguin, how he's ended up to where he's got to get what he's lost and his trials and tribulations along from becoming from a childhood. And we find out that he was actually brought up quite wealthy
Mm,
with like the Waynes and everything like that. He just wasn't as good looking, and he even says that he was like, I just wasn't a good looking. I couldn't, like, the money didn't matter. I didn't fit the bill, basically. Excuse the pun. But I think overall this story, if you don't mind grade F characters at the most poignant parts of the story, and then becoming friends that were foes of Penguin when he basically he used them as a pyramid scheme. He climbed on top of them to get to where he got to get to. He used them, he abused them, and then he dropped them as quick as a pound coin when he got what he wanted. And then now he's kind of tongue in cheek. He's kind of like, I need to get back. I need to get back to the top. I've been taken over by the Umbrella Man. I've been left for dead. I've got nothing. I've got one last bullet. That was it. And I thought it was quite enjoyable the way that it started off. It's literally like a poor Penguin sitting on a park bench, and he's just literally waiting for someone to turn up with a gun. And to begin with, I was kind of like, is this the story of how Penguin killed himself with one last
mm,
bullet? Because it kind of set up like that. It was like it kind of set up for him to be like the potential of him committing suicide on a park bench with one last bullet, because you see him sitting there like a down and out, the rain's falling, he's overlooking Gotham, he's got nothing left. And then I was quite interested. I was like, oh, okay, so it isn't this. So he is going to get one gun. And it was quite interesting how he went from one bullet to 3 bullets to spending $2.4 billion on getting all the guns back and getting his life back from Umbrella Man. I think the fact that you can clearly see that Batman is the antagonist in this story. 100%.
I don't think the Batman needed to be in it at all. To be honest with you, it was kind of a pointless. Like he goes and speaks to Penguin, and Penguin basically tells him to go away. He'll
This
deal
is why I picked
with
that last
Gotham.
panel. It was
Yeah,
literally Batman got schooled by Penguin. He was like, mate, I got you where you got to get to. I created Gotham. I settled the score in Gotham. I set up the Riddler. I set up the Joker. And I set up Two-Face. You didn't do nothing. If without me, you would
he controlled Gotham,
exactly.
and Batman was under the impression that he controlled Gotham, but it was only
Exactly.
because Penguin kept everybody in line that Batman was able to cope with all the all the people that he saved and all that good stuff. Look, I don't know, Charlie, if you felt like this, but normally when I read a Batman book, I feel that Gotham is like a character
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
book, and I don't think we've seen enough of Gotham. We didn't see the grime of Gotham. We didn't
No.
see the people that survived in Gotham. A little bit like Batman, it kind of made a cameo appearance at times, and I think it lost a little bit for me, especially if you've got 71 pages to play
Yeah.
with. It's like
And I think
you've
that's
got
why I
plenty of room.
said, and I think that's why I found it Ridley's Gotham interesting, because I'm kind of like, Gotham for me is the backbone of of all Batman stories, whether Riddler, Joker, Nightwing, Robin, Penguin, all of them. It's the backbone. It's where they come from. It's where like it's kind of like where their bread's buttered. Everything they do is committed to Gotham, and Gotham kind of oversees everything. That's where it is. In this story, it played second fiddle, and I don't think it should have been like that. We should have had like 2 or 3 panels where it was literally just Gotham, like the overscope, the overview of Gotham, where the Penguin's trying to get back into it, because it was just Penguin trying to get back to the Iceberg Lounge.
And that's the one thing where Jock's One Dark Knight done fantastically well. The showing Gotham and showing the dirt and the grime, and making that an individual character. This was just kind of a little bit too fluffy almost. It was kind of just a little bit too nice and clean. So
I will say though, it was an interesting look at one of Batman's most distinctive foes. I think throughout the whole history of Batman, it's been Penguin that's been near enough biting at his heels every single thing he tries to do. And it was quite interesting to have a solo Penguin story. And it was also interesting to see what he actually brought to Gotham and the Rogues Gallery and the crime community. As I said, I picked that panel because he kind of just turned around to Batman and went, "Mate, without me, you ain't nothing. Without me, you can't deal with a Joker. You can't deal with a Riddler or Two-Face, because I created all that. So jog on, you little muppet."
Well, I think what this says, like all the characters need each other. Batman needs Penguin as much as Penguin needs Batman, and then the Joker. They are Gotham. And if you take one of those out, then it just doesn't work.
But you know what was interesting? I don't know how I missed it, but there's a One Bad Day Riddler #1, and there's a One Bad Day Two-Face #1. They kind of just passed me by. But after reading this, I'm really looking forward to going back reading about them.
Me too. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought after reading this. Even though this was quite a long read, it intrigued me enough to see what slant and what dynamic they've done on these other characters, to see if it was kind of similar or if it was completely different. And it'd be nice if they brought it all together and then had like one overall book that showed all the characters. So.
Yeah, but I mean, Chris has said $8 book with $2 story, learn nothing, experience nothing. I was disappointed. And he's also said both are better. So yeah, I'm definitely like, if I got anything out of this, I'm definitely going to check that out. And he said Riddler One Bad Day is brilliant. There we go. So thank you very much for that, Mr. John Ridley, because I will be going back and reading that. So yes, so that was comic #1.
Did you give it a winner or a killer? What we doing?
I gave it 100% killer. I enjoyed it. I quite like the Penguin, and I kind of like. There's a panel in it that I didn't pick, is where he kind of gets face to face with the Umbrella Man, and the Umbrella Man beats the absolute shit out of him, and then he just literally turned into a panel out of The Walking Dead, where Penguin just jumps on, takes a trump out of his neck, and is like, "Yeah, I'm anything but that. I'm actually an animal." And then I thought it was really clever, because one of the panels at the bottom of it, where he's kind of left him for dead, as he's walking into the toilets to clean himself, the outline and silhouette, he looks like Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
If you've read that, go back over it and have a look at it. And I think it was just like a little subtle nod to think,
it definitely showed you how we up to that point we were kind of feeling a little bit sorry and empathetic towards him, and then he just bites the neck off him, and you can see, well, actually this guy is an animal. I would give this a killer just because it was completely different from what I expected, and that's what I like about comics. So.
Perfect. So then we had Spider-Man last week, and this time we've got another take on Spider-Man. This is the Deadly Neighbourhood Spider-Man, issue #1, written by Black Eyed Peas' own Taboo and Mr. B. Earl, and art by Juan Ferreyra. Main cover is by Razar. The Raphael Albuquerque variant cover. We've got a David Mack variant cover, and we have a 1 in 25 Peach Momoko. I'm going to throw this back over to you, because I know how much you love Spider-Man, Andy. Crack on, mate.
I do love Spider-Man. It's just I haven't read a good Spider-Man story since Chip Zdarsky's short run. And this was absolutely no different, Charlie. It was, in fact, I'm going to go out and say that, and for everybody who obviously watched last week or saw the rewind, they know my feelings on the last Spider-Man book, but this was another Spider-Man #1, Deadly Neighbourhood, and it was worse. I thought it was worse than the book that we read last week. And it really annoyed me because I was actually quite looking forward to it again. I was like, okay, here's another chance. You don't often get 2 Spider-Man number 1s week after week, so let's go for this. I'm going to start. Let me just counteract my negativity on this one with positivity, and the artwork I thought was spectacular on this. What is it, Juan Ferreyra?
Ferreyra,
yeah. I thought Juan's interpretation of Spider-Man, some of the pages, fantastic. So the first page that we see is the one on the left-hand side, which was the one that I picked, and I was hooked. I was in. I was ready for this. Artwork-wise, it was consistently good, but from a story perspective, it was just never-ending narration. It was just Peter talking and talking, and this was only 27 pages long.
Yeah.
So less than half of the book that we just read, but it was super slow pacing. It was like tediously slow at times, and that's okay. I don't mind slow. I don't mind lots and lots of narration, but none of it made any sense.
No,
none of it. Not one bit of it made any sense. This is what I took from it. So Peter, he's in California, which was obviously something a little bit different, and he's this cutting edge sort of scientist, and he's pictured in his science room, his lab, and then all of a sudden he finds this mysterious ancient looking rock, and it's got loads of hieroglyphics carved on it, and this is sitting in the middle of the lab floor.
Yeah.
How did that rock get there in the first place?
Yeah.
It's a high-tech lab. Surely, like, people or security to get back and forward. And what made him turn around and go, oh, look, there's a rock sitting over there.
There's a massive meteor rock that's just been sitting there, but I haven't known. I've been here a couple of days by Claire because he's fallen asleep and stuff, and he just wakes up and there's a massive rock. I mean, come on.
It's like almost like sitting in your work office and seeing a large piece of coal sitting on the floor and going and picking it up and seeing writing on it. It's just
wait, hold on.
Exactly. Wait. and that's fine. Like, that wasn't the worst of it, but for some reason, Peter's having these sort of lucid nightmares every time that he touches the rock. But why doesn't he just put it down? Put the rock down. Don't touch it. I've no idea. I completely and utterly tuned it with this comic, and I was so glad that it wasn't 71 pages long like the last one. I just don't know if I'll ever read a decent Spider-Man story again.
See, this is my concern. So, other than last week, I think I've only ever read 1 or 2 Spider-Man comics before. Right? I enjoy the films. I think they're well put together. I don't know where to start with this comic. The only thing I could say good about this comic is that it's well timed. If you want to get in the mood, if there's any readers out there that want to get in the mood for Halloween and like Spider-Man and want to see how it portrays for Halloween, the visuals I've got to say the visuals are jaw-droppingly good. Like, some of the pages are just fantastic. I think I skipped past some of the pages just looking at the artwork. I didn't even read the narrative because some of it was just like, seriously. The biggest thing for me is that the artifact, as you mentioned, like, it literally just drops out of nowhere, and it's like the creators were just like, I think it's time we just dropped a rock into a scientific lab. It just didn't make sense. It did not make sense at all.
I thought I had missed something about halfway through the book, because and I checked the front. I went, no, it's definitely issue 1. I was like, maybe there was a prelude to this that I've missed, or maybe there's like another arc that I've missed where this has all happened, and it's my problem that I don't understand it. But no, this is top. This is the worst read this year for me.
I mean, I've got to say, I think it's one of the most visually stunning books from last week. I think the comics,
which only is the only thing that saved it, Charlie. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's the only thing that keeps you intrigued for those 27 pages.
Exactly. And it was kind of like, I mean, I kind of got the vibe from this. Is this what Peter Parker's life would be like if the spider that bit him,
If he was on mushrooms,
if he was on mushrooms, or it made him go insane, if he had an ulterior reaction to it? Is this what his life would be like? I mean, because the cover, if I go back to the cover, the main cover here by Razaz is phenomenal. Like, if I zoomed in on that, if you look at it, you've got some of the characters in it. You've got Venom, you've got Wolverine. Like, the detail for this #1 comic main cover, which is at cover price, is phenomenal.
yeah.
But the rest of the covers that come with it are pretty lackluster. Like that 1 in 25 Peach Momoko.
I think that sums up the book quite perfectly, though, because it's completely nuts. It's completely, and the interesting thing about this is that there was 2 writers for this book. So there was Taboo, who is the guy that's in the Black Eyed Peas, and B. Earl.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how that writer dynamic worked. Like, who worked on which part, or was it like take a sentence each? Because that's kind of what it felt like at times.
Yeah. But I mean, I would, having looked at the main cover again, I'd pick that up just because there's so much detail in it. Like, if there's people in the chat that haven't looked at it, have a look in it. Just zoom in, go on League of Comic Geeks and have a look at it and zoom in. There's so much detail in there that is more interesting than the 29 pages of the book. The 29 pages of the book include some fantastic jaw-dropping artwork, like amazing. But the narrative, unfortunately, just does not do it. And I don't think I want to read a Spider-Man comic again. That's 2 weeks on the trot now, man. Like,
that's the thing. I do. I'm going to keep reading the Spider-Man books until I find one that is something that I'll enjoy. Like, I guess, like, it'd be interesting to find someone like who is really into Spider-Man, who is a Spider-Man mega fan. I'm thinking like Hydra Collectibles. If he's to read this, what would he think of it?
Yeah.
Would he enjoy it? Because as I say, I just thought it was maybe something that I was missing. But for me, it wouldn't be a book that I'd be interested in picking up issue number 2. But again, don't take our word for it. Make sure that you pick up these books and give them a read to see what you guys think, because I might be wrong.
I mean, we've had Martin saying more Spider books are on the way. Dark Web and New Miles book getting like X-Men, quality now sacrificed for quantity. When will the current AXE shite finish? Don't even get me started on that. Like, it's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And Leon has echoed what you said. Why doesn't he put the Rock down? Can't stop the Rock. Can't stop the Rock. Can't stop the Rock. But yeah, I don't want to read a Spider-Man comic again. I'm literally totally done. I can't.
So issue number 2,
absolute.
up for it?
No, binner. Absolute binner. Like, I'm not even interested. Not at all.
No, I can't say I am. And as I say, I thought it was pretty bad, the last Spider-Man book last week. But moving on.
And also, just to confirm, this comic probably only won because we changed it from Silver Coin. What was it? Silver Coin 14, because obviously on the cover of Silver Coin 14, it's about a fireman, and our sexy own fireman, Tom Malin,
which
we decided
understandable.
We decided it was a bit close to the bone, so we decided to sub that out and sub this in. And yeah, there's no more to say on this subject. Absolutely no more to say on this subject. Other than the artwork is phenomenal, and that's about it. But yeah, is there anything else to say on this absolute shite?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Well, I think the responsibility lies on the writers, but this is what I was trying to say, right? So Chip Zdarsky, fantastic Spider-Man. Chip Zdarsky, Stillwater, amazing. Chip Zdarsky, Batman, I'm not enjoying it.
No.
And I'm a massive Batman fan. I've got every single issue.
I've only read one issue that I haven't caught up with Batman and stuff.
I've got from issue 1 to where we are now. I've got all of them and I've enjoyed them. But Chip Zdarsky, the fantastic writer that he is, I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. It just really isn't doing it for me.
Which is an interesting thing to bring up, because I'm sure at the end of the year we'll do our kind of a like top book, top comic, top writer and stuff like that. But for me, I think probably I would say Ram V is probably my writer of the year so far. all the stuff hasn't been like maybe necessarily my cup of tea, but
Mhm.
there's a consistently high level there.
Yeah.
And I can't believe we're nearly at the end of the year already. It doesn't. It
Mm.
feels as if it's really flew in. So
And do you
yeah,
know what else? Do you know what else is closer?
go on.
We've got 2 weeks, so mate, put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on.
Oh.
Put your seatbelt on. Right.
I am so easily influenced. I can't believe I'd done that to put on my imaginary seatbelt.
Just put it on.
I'm a 40-year-old man who just put his imaginary seatbelt on because you told me to. Guys.
Thought Bubble's going to be fun. We are continuing the road to Thought Bubble. We are 2 weeks away. I am so excited. Like last year was my first Thought Bubble, and I was like a kid at Christmas. I was like, I'm really looking forward to this. And I think I was more excited about meeting you and Tom and James and Sean and everyone else that joins us in the chat every week, because it kind of escalated. It was the first time we'd done Road to Thought Bubble. It was the first time we was all meeting up, and it was kind of, I don't know. I was like, what if we actually meet up and we don't like each other and we don't get on? But fortunately, it wasn't like that. We had an absolute amazing time, and we're here again. A year has passed. Like, how amazing is that? A year has passed. We're here again. We've got 2 weeks until Thought Bubble goes live again. I'm ecstatic.
Mate, it certainly last year's Thought Bubble was a kind of a perfect storm, and as you say, it was kind of a like nervous uncertainty because everybody was meeting up for the first time, and it almost feels like in the next couple of weeks that we're obviously all going to meet up again, and we're going to have twice the amount of fun because there's no we all kind of I feel like we all know each other, we've all met each other before, and I think let's not forget Thought Bubble and how good that is. And I guess there's probably some people that are watching who watch this every week and they get a little bit bored of us mentioning it all the time. But it really is just because it's such a fantastic experience. And I think we've elevated it from it not just being a con, but it's going to be like a yearly meetup for everybody. So if you haven't been before, make sure that you consider maybe going next year, because I'm sure in another 12 months' time we'll be talking about going again. So everybody's more than welcome.
We've got some brainiacs in tonight. Chris Bell already commented saying Nathan shares his tattoos were upside down. And now we've got Martin who's just said, who's driving as you both got on passenger side seatbelts? That's Tom. Tom's driving. Tom's the designated driver. So you nearly caught me out there because I was like,
I was like, Wakanda forever.
But yeah, Thought Bubble is I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Only see if this channel was monetized and we got a quid, as I put up my Lucasade, not sponsored. If we got a quid every time we said Thought Bubble, we'd be absolutely minted.
Oh, hold on. I've literally just got some breaking news. Panels and a Half Pint is now officially coming to Thought Bubble.
Yes, he has got
news just in.
Flight. He's got his flight booked. So. Not only will the Colour Comic Show be fully represented, but Panels and Pints will also be fully represented. So the two shows combine once again for some beautiful, beautiful things.
Like a beautiful merge. Talking about beauty, today on Road to Thought Bubble, it was my choice, and I've gone with the one and only, the gorgeously stunning, fantastic artist Carla Cohen.
I love the way that you say gorgeous. It's like gorgeous,
Southeast London, gorgeous. Right. So obviously, we was very, very privileged last year to have Carla Cohen on the show, and I think we kind of had. I think the interview went on for about an hour and 45 minutes, but we kind of really went into depth of how great she is and how she's still using the traditional methods to get over these fantastic comic covers that she does.
So she was so down to earth.
So down to earth.
Amazing.
Like so down to earth. And I think she was that down to earth. It was hilarious that at the end of the show, she just logged off.
Just like, I've had enough.
See you later. That was it. Done.
Bye.
That was it. She couldn't be bothered with us no more. But obviously, for those of you that don't know Carla Cohen, I will literally just read the blurb what I put on. Carla Cohen is a French illustrator based in Italy and specialises in painting with oils on canvas and board. She has a passion for creating realistic portraits for clients with a very careful eye on details and layered textures to evoke an emotional response. Carla has studied beaux arts across several European venues, including Atelier de Sévère in Paris, Gerrit Rietveld Academy in Amsterdam, and the Florence
Nailed
Design
it.
Academy, and is currently being mentored by Lucio Perillo at his studio in Florence. That is technically wrong because they now live together, and they recently got married this year. So the comic community now has a fantastic artistic power couple in its midst that's going to create shed load of fantastic covers, commissions, artworks, and everything. So it's a very exciting time. Having discovered
Absolutely beautiful babies as well.
100%, yes. And having been discovered and being inspired by the fantastic and superhero genre, she has embraced the creativity within the industry and begun to craft her own portrayals of these pop culture icons. And I've just selected four. These
Charlie,
four.
I feel as if every time we say Lucio Perillo, it should be Lucio Perillo.
Lucio Perillo. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing them both at Thought Bubble.
I'm not going to say that we're going to go for a pint because we said that the last time with a few creators and it just didn't happen. So we're not,
But the four covers I've just picked here, just to like highlight, obviously you can follow over on Instagram.com/Carla Cohen Arts. Fantastic stuff over there. She's currently only working on commissions, which are, I wouldn't even say they're expensive because they are worth every single penny. So I think she's going to be doing them at Thought Bubble. She's going to be bringing some of her own stuff as well. So if you do get a chance to check her out, make sure you do.
I think it's through Scott's Collectibles. So if you're interested in getting a commission, contact Scott Collectibles and they will be able to sort you out. But it's worth absolutely every penny if you consider the amount of work and effort that goes into these. So 100%.
I mean, it's fantastic. We've got Department of Truth, we've got Red Sonja, we've got Harley Quinn, and we've got Ice Cream Man. This is just to name a few of the fantastic stuff that she's done. And then I have just picked my four favourites. So obviously this is Bloodstained Teeth, issue number 1. Wonder Woman, Black and Gold, issue number 1. Harley Quinn, The Eat, Bang, Kill Tour, issue number 1. And Catwoman, 45. That Bloodstained Teeth, issue number 1, I think, is one of my all-time favourite covers that I think Carla Cohen's ever done.
Absolutely stunning, yeah.
And to be fair, the actual book itself is actually a pretty decent read.
Right, cool.
And I also have that one behind me as well.
You instantly know a Carla, like it's got to that stage now that you instantly can recognise a Carla Cohen book. Yeah. So I think that's testament to her work and stuff like that it's consistently at a level. So unbelievable.
But I mean, I'm very much looking forward to it. I mean, I really want to get a commission piece. I just think it's a tiny bit out of my budget, but yeah, I'm looking forward to like seeing her, having a chat with her and stuff like that, which would be interesting as well.
Yeah, 100%. No, I'd be happy enough just to get to meet her, say hello, and get her autograph on the book that I showed earlier on, and as soon as I heard that she was going, I think we were all like school children, like we couldn't wait and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
And we've got a few fans in the chat. Marcus said I've got about 30 covers for Carla to sign, and Leon has said currently being mentored by Lucio Perillo at his studio in Florence. I bet she is. And Abs Six Pack Comics has just laughed. But yes, that is Carla Cohen, the Thought Bubble, Road to Thought Bubble highlight spotlight. Fantastic artist, and it's really great to see that she still works with like oils and the traditional methods and stuff like that. It'd be interesting to see what her work would be like if it was done digitally.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I don't think you would get the same feel for it because
not at all.
I can't imagine those IG videos that she puts up would have the same impact. Just seeing like, and how would you be able to pour oil onto a screen and stuff like that? I don't know how that would work.
mean, so for anyone who's wondering what Andy's talking about, basically Carla Cohen and also Lucio, they do these very subjective videos where it would just be the art that they've done and they're tipping oil over it, or is it varnish? I think she corrected me, didn't I? Because I turned around and
said, she corrected me because I said it was oil and she's like, it's varnish, and I was like, varnish. That makes sense.
But it's so amazing just to watch like this comics and the art that they do come to life. So yeah, if you do get a chance, head over to Instagram and check it out. But yeah, 2 weeks to go, mate. 2 weeks to go.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
Just can't hide it. No.
I just need to eat I need to eat a crunchy now.
Don't do that movement
No,
again.
I won't.
Ever. Please.
So there we go. That's Carla Cohen, Thought Bubble, Road to Thought Bubble, Bish Bash Bosh. Moving on. So we have now, back by popular demand, we've got the Killer Comic Show, Killer Indie Pick. Andy, this is where you take over. I grab my empty pint glass and I put my hands up and I just sit back and listen to your dulcet Scottish tones.
And they are dulcet. Yes, Killer Indie Pick. I went for Ninja Funk issue number.
Sorry.
Indeed. What a fantastic David Mack cover on the left-hand side. And then obviously we have a homage there. Fantastic cover there on the right-hand side. I think there's like with every Whatnot Publishing release, I think there's like 50 odd covers. But this is GPG McFly and Steve Schut and Alex Rigo on artwork. This is due for release next week, November 2nd. Don't quote me on that. I'm hoping that it's not moved, which sometimes it does. But Ninja Funk, the synopsis reads, frequency bending warrior DJs, cyborg house cats, the broken rhythm of the universe. This is a comic like you've never seen before. A fun, high-stakes adventure weaved together with face-melting beats. Ninja Funk follows a ragtag band of misfits as they attempt to save a universe that's off-key. Oh, mate, it sang to me, this book. And I think there was a couple of weeks ago, I picked another Whatnot Publishing book.
Yeah.
And I thought it was okay. I thought it was great. It didn't blow me away. But I'm interested to give this a read to see what this is like. Is this one that was on your radar, Charlie?
Do you know what? It totally wasn't on my radar at all. But as soon as I see the Stray Dogs homage cover, I was like, I'm interested in this. And the fact is that it's a cat with a robotic collar and legs and stuff. It just seems so far out there. And it's called Ninja Funk. Why wouldn't you want to read a comic called Ninja Funk?
100%. I love that David Mack cover. The cat is absolutely superb. You can tell straight away.
So,
that's a David
quick
Mack
question
cover.
for you: if that David Mack goes into a second print, is that Return of the Mac?
Guys, I apologise, Tom. I wish you were here. And Ninja Funk, Whatnot Publishing. I apologise.
I just got like karate.
Surely one of the 10 people who are watching are going to find that funny.
Of course they are. The one person is me.
Chris is like, cut the stream.
Just get rid of it. Just cut it out. Cut it out. But so Ninja Funk. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it. It comes out next week. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, so that's your killer indie pick. And then we've also got a killer pick. So Tom picked this one. And Tom has gone for, obviously it couldn't have been anything else. It's Boom Studios. It's not Boom Studios. Is it Boom Studios? Image.
Yeah, it's one of those.
It is Image.
Boom Studios.
It is Boom Studios. Okay, yeah, it is Boom Studios. It's The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, the trade paperback, written by a friend of the show, Mr. Ramsey, and art by Felipe Andrade. Cover price is $4.99. This is available in shops now. Yes, it is. Yeah, Carlin. No, thank you. Would not drink Carlin. There we go. And there's a tumbleweed rolling across the screen. That's not actually a tumbleweed. It's the rock that Spider-Man found on his scientific floor that I've just realised.
Scientific floor.
Yes, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. But yes, this is The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. Like, come on, this for me really struck something last year. I think with the fact that I kind of lost my mum halfway through this trade, the story, these issues coming out was really like, whoa, it was a hard story for me to grasp. But then when I kind of sat back and looked at it, it's a fantastic story. And it's kind of the take on a story that you're not expecting. Like, the fact is, I think it was issue number 3 that was told through the lens of a cigarette.
Yeah, it was crazy. And just the point, I guess just the point that Charlie, like, we're not saying that this is coming out next week or that this is already
this is out.
Yeah, what we're doing is we can pick anything that we're reading or that we think people should remember about. So just make sure everybody's realizing.
But this is fantastic. And again, Ram V is going to be at Thought Bubble. So if you do have this or you have any of the issues, I know David Mack did some fantastic issues. There's a couple of foil issues as well. If you do have this, bring it along for him to sign. And I tell you what, the best thing about Thought Bubble, and we say it time and time again, it's the interaction that you can have with these creators, with the writers, with the artists. Yep. You don't feel obliged to just take anything up and get it signed, because you don't have to. If you just want to ask them a question, have a 5-minute conversation with you, you can. I don't charge you for anything. Like it's great. And I think last year I took up Venom #1 that Ranvi had obviously writ, and he wrote to Charlie, thanks for reading, and he drew a remark of Venom.
Dear Charlie, leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Like, seriously, leave me alone.
This book, I think, won my book of the year last year.
Yeah, it did. It got the gold
and it
gold
definitely was definitely got our gold seal, and it was definitely a thought-provoking book. I think one of the things, something yourself, Charlie, when you lose a loved one, I think there was a piece in the book that said, if life is about making memories, then as long as you have those memories, then nobody actually ever goes away. And that nearly set me off. I was like, my goodness, especially you know, my mom and dad have sadly passed away, and that made me think about them. And for a comic to make you think like that and feel like that, you got me the trade paperback as well, which I have behind me. And every so often I'll just pick it up and I'll start reading random pages of it, because it's that good. Yeah. And when I met Ram V, or when we met Ram V, I actually thanked him for it and explained what it meant to me. Yeah. And I think that kind of blew him away, because obviously he's just writing comics and stuff like that. Yeah. And when it actually touches the reader, as it were, then I'm sure it makes a profound difference to him.
But yeah, so this is out now. You will be hard pressed to find the first print. But the second print is readily available, and obviously it collects the first 1 to 5 issues of Layla Starr. But it's fantastic. It basically tells the story of death and how she kind of changes her outlook on life or death, as it were. But it's a fantastic read. Fantastic read.
We can't do it justice. I found that when we were reviewing it, nothing we would say would actually do this justice. It's one of those books you have to pick up, because every single person will find something different from it. So that's that. Now we are coming into the Killer Comics Show news section. Now this week we haven't picked anything. We kind of thought we'd just kind of roll with it. We kind of thought we'd just wing it, but we also like to see what the chat would like to suggest. I do have one subject that I've kind of been thinking about for the last couple of days and stuff. I would like to know what everyone's thoughts are on these readily made auctions and pop-up, I like to call them, auction sites that are coming up with like Voggt and whatnot and stuff. Now, obviously, the US is massively involved in stuff like this. Like, they do claim sales on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and stuff like that. I think it's very well known that the UK is kind of behind on that. We're starting to pick it up again with the likes of Voggt and whatnot and stuff like that, which isn't available in the UK yet. But my personal opinion is that when you do it right, it's great. Now, obviously, people are going to think I'm biased because Tim's my friend. Lucy and Tim are the friends of the show. But when you compare to what the Hobgoblin does as a company, as they were, like they are fantastic. They will do Facebook live shows. They will do these vault setups. It's entertaining because, as you've always said, it's like going out but staying in. When you can kind of get that, and you can kind of get people involved. I mean, they have 40 people on their vault shows on a Friday night from 8 p.m. Now, when you get down to the bare bones of it, they're selling comics, right, on an auction site. But the fact is that there's the involvement from the community, that the chat and the banter that occurs while the show's going on. Sometimes I don't even buy anything. I'll just rock up to interact with people like that. When you can kind of get that nucleus to build something from, I think that's when it works. And for me personally, there's so many sellers on these sites that have no clue what they're doing. They have no clue in the quantity and quality of the comics and the collectibles that they're selling. It kind of diminishes the fact that
it takes the enjoyment away of like kind of wanting to jump on and buy something, because you know full well that unless, for me personally, unless I buy from the Hobgoblins Hideaway, I don't think anything else is going to live up to the expectation of the delivery, the quality of the book, and the enjoyment of watching the show week in, week out.
Yes, 100%. I think the one thing that the Hobgoblin Hideaway is absolutely nailed, and this is something well before Vought was a thing, is the sense of community. So I know when we go on the claim sales at the end of the month, that people that are on it, they recognise everybody's name and everybody's sort of pulls together. And I think to a certain extent when they're on Vought, you've got that same vibe.
Yeah.
And it's almost like the new people that are not on their Facebook group have come in through Vought, and now they feel like almost like part of the Hobgoblin family. I think to answer your question about like the likes of Vought and whatnot and all those, I think they're all great. I think they all serve a purpose. I think you have to be really careful from a buyer perspective. That you don't go crazy on them. And there's some level of restraint, because these things are on 24 hours a day. And I'm sure that Vought will get to a position where there's lots more sellers. And you will be able to just tune in at any point. It'll be like QVC for comics.
My God, you've literally just taken the words right out of my mouth. It is literally QVC for comics.
100%.
Instead of Ruth Langford, we've got Tim.
Absolutely, 100%. What more could you ask for? I think from my experience of using Whatnot and Vought, maybe start with Vought, is that I think I've purchased from pretty much all the sellers. I think maybe bar one or two, and there's not a huge amount of sellers there. So I'm not going to sit here and critique any of the sellers, but all I would say is just that they need to be really upfront about the quality of the books that they're selling, because I've found that on maybe a few occasions that they've not maybe hit the mark. And I think that's another thing that differentiates the Hobgoblin, is that they will tell you exactly what the grade is, and they'll probably undergrade it. So there's a little bit of wiggle room there. They'll never say that it's near mint plus. They'll never say that it's a 9.8, but you're pretty much guaranteed that if it's near mint or thereabouts, that there's a good chance for it. So I think they're all great. I'm thinking about becoming a seller on Vought. I'm very nervous about the fact
don't trust this guy. Viewers, do not trust him.
Do not. Well, hopefully some of the people who do buy comics from me already trust me. So,
Chris Bell, you can write a reference.
You can give me a reference. Yeah, exactly. Do not approach. So yeah, you might see me on Vought at some point. But just talking about selling comics and all that good stuff, we've spoken about it a few times. We're actually thinking about doing a Killer Comics live claim sale on YouTube to see how it goes. So stay tuned for that. But
now this goes in this. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. This goes into my second thought. Like, obviously, the Killer Comic Show, we could kind of do that. I think between me, you, and Tom, we have enough sellable items at good quality that we could potentially do that.
I'm just laughing.
I can picture him standing in front of the mirror going, "I spit in the face of history."
And Mark is just saying there that he's thinking about becoming a seller on Vought. So make sure that you give Mark a follow for whenever he does become.
Is that the nude selfies, Mark, or is it comics?
and look at this. Like, what can I say? Like, there's the comment. Chris Bell wins something. I don't know what he wins, but he wins something for that comment. I've also bought from Whatnot as well. So I actually won a couple of books from Wanted Comics over in the US.
Oh wow!
I purchased a couple and just get it sent to my Stackery address, and then get it all consolidated and sent over here. And the actual process,
it's a toss up.
Absolute filth.
I thought you said a toss off.
The Whatnot process of actually buying is so easy. It's so streamlined.
Okay.
And from what I've heard from a seller perspective, it's also really easy as well. So from what I hear in the grapevine, is that there's going to be an announcement Star Wars Celebration in April. For a Whatnot in the UK perspective. Okay. I watch a few American shows, and one of the guys who's in charge of the comic side of Whatnot had suggested to look out for Star Wars Celebration. So anybody that's interested in whatnot, then April, keep an eye out for that.
It is interesting that you say that it's so easy to buy from, because I think, like, viewers in the chat, especially like Chris and Mark and stuff, and yourself, and obviously me, the fact is that it's one shipping price. You could buy 30 comics and it's a $3.99 shipping charge. The incentive is there to think, well, I'll just keep buying and buying and buying because I'm only paying $3.99.
That is the thing, yeah, because
it's quite dangerous.
Do you know, from a buyer perspective, it's dangerous. From a seller perspective, it's fantastic, because obviously you want a quantity of books. But then I guess from a Voggt perspective, and I've already brought this up with Voggt, is that there's a danger there that it's a standard $3.99 shipping.
Yeah.
But if you've got a stack of books, then it's going to cost more than $3.99. So you're taking that hit every time that someone does that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it probably, weighs itself up. I just noticed a comment there, from Martin, saying that he's nervous about buying from Voggt, but is requested to join the Hobgoblin Hideaway based on your comments. Martin, from my experience, there's been absolutely no issues when it comes to any of the sellers. Hobgoblin are going to be on at 4 o'clock tomorrow on Voggt, live from MCM Comic Con. Give it a go and see how it goes, but make sure, if you've not already joined Hobgoblin Hideaway's Facebook group, I'll try and get the link and stick it in here, but you can search for it. That's every month, and the way I commented today is, like, Voggt is like the starter to the Facebook group main meal when it comes to the claim sales, because that's when you get the absolutely fantastic deals. So don't be nervous. I would, but then again, be nervous if you're going to buy comics, because sometimes you just don't know when to stop.
And what I will say is that before, if you're willing and to buy on there, make sure you upload your card details first of all, because if you see a comic that you want to buy, Voggt won't let you buy unless you've added your profile, unless you've added your card details as first, because
and your address.
Yes, and as Chris has just said, with it being straight from the bank, he does find it as a natural cap on the spending and stuff. So it literally will come out straight away. It will come out as 2 separate payments. It will come out as a shipping and for the comic as well. So yeah, I mean, it is enjoyable. I enjoy, like, on the Friday, sitting here, like, chilling with a beer and just watching it, because I'm thinking, do you know what? There are comics coming up. And to answer Edvic's, I've never been on them. Can you see what books are coming up, or do you have to wait to see whatever happens to pop up? Some sellers, Andy, I think you can second this, some sellers won't put anything up. They'll just go on a whim and they'll just put up comics now and again. With Tim, he will put up over 100 comics, and you can go into either the buy now, upcoming, or sold, and when you go into the upcoming, it will have a list of all the comics. And with Tim specifically, he will start every comic at £1, and then halfway through he might do a giveaway, or he might start the show with a giveaway. Everyone is able to join that giveaway, whether you've bought something or not. Some Vault buyers will say you have to have a minimum purchase, or you would have to have purchased at least one comic to join the giveaway. What Tim does is, anyone that joins, he will just give back to the community, and he say, like, yeah, to start off the show, we've got 3 giveaways, and anyone will be entered into the ballot. It will ring, and you'll win a comic. But in my own opinion, I think Vault is very good, as long as you've got self-control. And what I find to do, I kind of go on before the show starts, an hour before the show starts, see what comics are there. So I've kind of already got it in my mind what I want to buy. But as I was saying to Andy before the show, you could kind of say the comics, I don't know, 65th in the list. You could kind of think, I'll wait 45 minutes. These comics can either sell very fast or very slowly. If it's a good comic, the bids are going to go up, and the timer is going to keep being reset after, I think, is with 10 seconds to go. If someone places a bid, it will reset it by 10 seconds. So it will keep going up and up and up. So if you see a comic that you like in the list, I would just recommend you watch the show, because it's not all about buying the comics. As we've said at the start of this new section, it's kind of about the community and getting to know people that are buying comics with similar tastes and stuff, and showing some support as well. So, but it's fantastic, and you've dropped the link in there as well. So
yeah, so I dropped a couple of links in there, guys. So this is the Hobgoblin Hideaway Facebook group that I'd highly recommend you go and join if you haven't already done so. And the next one here is the show that's coming up tomorrow for Hobgoblin Hideaway. So not only you can do it on the app, or you can do it on your laptop, PC, computer. It will still allow you to buy books.
Well, we've obviously sold it, so we will be getting our commission from Tim when we're at Thought Bubble. So, Ed Vixen. There we go.
And do you know, it would be quite cool if we got somebody from Voggt on to talk. I know that we've been talking to, well, I've certainly been talking to a few of the guys there. Be nice to get their view on it, and I'm sure there's people here that have never probably heard of it. And if they can maybe throw us a deal or throw us a code that we can use, then that would be sweet.
Do you know what? I think that'd be good. I think if we can kind of reach out and get that for the people in the chat, and we can kind of get a better understanding, I think it just helps our comic community a lot more. So, but one thing I did want to say is that obviously the first news section we did was on Peach Momoko, was she too famous for MCM? Last week was about what children's TV series would we like to come back, and this week we've kind of just gone on a whim and we've kind of come up with a subject and we've kind of thrown it back to the chat. If anyone in the chat does have any news sections or anything you would like us to discuss and get involved in the chat, ping us over a message either in the chat. It'd be good to get a comment in the chat of the show on YouTube, or either just ping us over a message on Instagram, and we can kind of take it from there. I find it quite engaging, this section of the show.
I do. I really enjoy it, and I'm really interested to find out what the people that are watching live and on the replay think of it as well. I think if the guys that are watching can get involved and give us some stuff that they want to talk about as a topic, then I think that'd be cool.
So if we can get the engagement on the shows, just literally post a comment on the YouTube channel, just say, look, we'd like to discuss this. We think it's working. We think it's not working. We're here for your viewing pleasure and your audio needs. Talking about audio needs.
Listen, a little bit of self-promotion for me as well. I might not be on Vought, but I am selling a good proportion of my comic collection for one reason or another, and I have it all listed on Dropbox, so I have it all pictured and ready to go. So if anybody is interested in having a look at that, then drop me a note on Instagram and I'll send you the link to it. And I think the likes of Zan and a few others, Mark's bought from me, and so is Chris Bell. So I'm sure they can testify that I give good deals.
Awesome. So yes, and also added to the news section, we now have a podcast, which this show
we do. We're listen. Wait till next year. Like wait till 2023 and see what else we have in store for you.
This is it. I mean, it's a slow starter. It's a slow burner, but I think we will pick it up. Obviously, this is for your audio pleasure, and it will be available on Spotify, Deezer, and iTunes every Friday. If you do want to find out what we are talking about and there's no visual incentives, you can also head over to this, or you can go into one of the Spotify, Deezer, or iTunes, and there is a link there that will take you to it's either a Google Drive or a Dropbox, and you'll be able to look at this PDF slide and you can have a look and see what your best parts are and go over it. But yes, every Friday over on them 3 fantastic audio podcast platforms. I think is the word you're looking for. That's the one. There we go. So yes. So now it's time for the Killer Comics Show sneak peek for next week. Now the 4 comics we have up next week are, Andy, is this your choice?
This is my choice. So this is Batman Beyond the White Knight, issue number 6.
6, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's issue number 6. Just FYI, guys, I'm not going to be on the show next week, but I'm sure that Charlie and Tom will hold the fort with nothing but efficiency. Isn't that right, Charlie?
That is indeed. And talking about efficiency, Tom has gone for Strange Academy, the finals. This is issue number 1. So Strange Academy ended on issue number, I want to say 18. I could be wrong, but obviously this is Scotty Young back in the game again, Strange Academy finals. And we have Damn Them All, issue number 1, based on Andy's pick last week. I kind of went with this and thought, yes, I'm definitely going for this. Boom Studios looking all deadly, Walking Dead kind of Simon Spurrier, Charlie Adlard.
I hope they pick this to read, because even though I'm not going to be on next week, I'm definitely going to read whatever gets chosen, and I'll let the guys know what my thoughts are. I think this is going to be a cracker.
And the 4th comic was the Riddler Year 1. Now, one of my all-time fantastic comics has to be Batman Year 1. I think that it's amazing. It's a whole different take on Batman. And obviously with reading One Bad Day, Penguin, I've kind of also chose the Riddler. And to be fair, this comic was only put in because it's slim pickings this week, to be fair. There's not that many comics, but I think we've got 4 fantastic comics there. Again, that will go up on the community tab tomorrow on YouTube. So if you can pick your book. And Edvic has said, does it still have to be 2?
Ooh. If we cut, or I say we, the royal we, if you guys cut Thought Bubble next week, then we might be able to squeeze an extra one in. But it's up to you guys.
We might be able to. But yeah, there's 4 fantastic books there, 4 decent books that will be up on the community tab on YouTube tomorrow morning. So place your votes, and then we'll announce the winner on Monday with the standard Instagram post, and then we will go from there. What else have we got? We've got this as well. So the Killer Covers scoreboard. So at the moment, me and Andy are tied. Let's head over to YouTube now, and in third position is myself with 7%, with the Nathan Scherzi 23 upside down Harley Quinn tattoo comic cover. In second place, we've got Tom with 41%. Well done, Thomas. And again, well deserved, 100% well deserved. And he's tapped into everyone's Halloween festive feels. It's Andy with 52%. There we go, mate. You won. You won it.
I would like to thank
absolutely nobody.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Conor McGregor. I should do the Conor McGregor like that thing he used to do.
I'm going to take this chance to thanks absolutely nobody.
I'd like to thank Tula Lote. I'd like to thank Thought Bubble, and yeah, it's definitely heating up now, Charlie, because we don't have many weeks to go until the end of the year.
We don't. So with that said, if you do want to find us on Instagram, Twitter, and everywhere else, you can find me over on Instagram.com/geekyguycomics_, and then at Twitter, Geeky Guy Comics. Andy?
Instagram.com/perpetual.comics and Twitter.com/perpetualcomics. But more importantly, our man Tom is not just got one Instagram, he's got 2. Right, so there's not _quite_mint_KC and the _R_off_Tom_Malin.
I think it's sponsored by underscore. So yeah, and then if you don't want to follow us free and you only want to find out the Killer Comic Show news, then head over to Instagram /the Killer Comic Show and Twitter Killer Comic Show, and we post what we've got coming up on the show. We'll post important news and anything else like that. You guys know you do it week in, week out, as do we. So yes, that's it. Another.
Can people subscribe to our channel? Is that still a thing?
You can subscribe. You can subscribe to YouTube, and we welcome all subscribers. We welcome all thumbs up. We welcome all comments, positive or negative. We like to know what we can do better on the show. We like to know what we're doing badly on the show, and we like to know if you guys are enjoying the show and want to get engaged in it. So yeah, I could only just say, give it a thumbs up, post a comment, because it all helps the bloody algorithm. It does, doesn't it?
It's all about the algorithm. But do you know what's most important? Is the people that join us every single week. I don't know about you, Charlie, but like this is why we do it. It's just it's good banter back and forward, and we feel as if we've got a bit of a Killer Comic Show community going as well.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And even that goes for you, James Copley, who has literally joined an hour and 22 minutes late. We will have a chat about this. But hey, guys, just got in from work. Sorry, I'm late.
No problem, James. Enjoy the rewind.
You can enjoy the rewind, or you can listen for your audio delight on Spotify, Deezer, and iTunes from tomorrow. Yeah, you can. And then you won't be late, because you could be at work and you could be listening on your earpods to this Cockney dulcet tone and the soothing sounds of the Scottish God.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, anyway, that's another Thursday. That's another Killer Comic Show done. I'm Charlie, Geeky Guy Comics.
I am Andy, Perpetual Comics, and we are missing Tom. But as Tom would stay safe, stay sexy.
See you next week, guys. Ta-ra.
Bye.